The knowledge economy is an economy in which growth is dependent on the quantity, quality, and accessibility of the information available rather than the means of production. The key element of value is the greater dependence on human capital and intellectual property as the source of innovative ideas, information, and practices. Organizations are required to capitalize this knowledge into their production to stimulate and deepen the business development process. In this kind of economy, there is less reliance on physical input and natural resources. A knowledge economy features a highly skilled workforce within the micro and macroeconomic environment. Institutions and industries create jobs that demand specialized skills in order to meet the global market needs. This means that information communication technology is suddenly catapulted to the top of the list of needs if a country wishes to excel in building a knowledge economy. The Tertiary Education Trust Fund is keenly aware of this and has listed ICT as a thematic area for its Standing Committee on Research and Development as well as Centers of Excellence. These are the chronicles of the journey to institutionalize research and development in Nigeria. Hello, and welcome to this edition of TETFund, The Paradigm Shift. I am Stanley Bentu. Information Communication Technology, or ICT, as it's known for short, is a phrase that was unknown to the world not too long ago. So how did three words, which meant so little in the past, become so important to the modern economy? Well, as the world became more reliant on digital technology, buoyed by the invention and mass application of the internet, information and ideas became assets worth billions of dollars. As the world became more interconnected, and data, which had to be stored in large rooms and entire buildings, could now be held in the palm of one's hands, the demands and tastes of mankind began to change. Because economies have increasingly become knowledge-based, TETFund's paradigm shift towards R&D embraces this bold world of ICT. Now, the Executive Secretary of TETFund, Professor Suleiman Elias-Bogoro, tells us more.
It's one subsector that is so fundamental. In fact, in the knowledge economy, and you tell me, is there anything in contemporary context that you do without ICT? Profound ICT injection or facilitation, driving it almost effectively. Talking about communication in the ordinary sense of it, well, we have social media, and Nigeria today is rated one of the most robust. Well, there are some that take advantage and engage in negativism in social media, which is very sad. We shouldn't be. Then the Yahoo chaps and so on, you know it, but it shouldn't be. Positive application of ICT is the key thing now. Is there anything we're doing? In the military, for instance, you tell me. You're talking about laser-guided bombs. Go on and on. Technology has gone so precise. And ICT is one of the main drivers. And in fact, in knowledge economy, look, you need information. You need data. ICT warehouses this. And so we need to get it right. And I think and that's why we talk of ICT and what do you call it, and knowledge economy, as it were. And this is, we are very conscious. In fact, that committee, incidentally, the Minister of ICT and Digital Economy, right. And the digital economy is just to emphasize the role of ICT in the knowledge economy. That is it. And that is just the fact. That is just the fact. If there is no automation, if there is no digitization, there are many of these things that take us back to manual days, not anything. You better imagine.
So we are left in no doubt that TETFund is determined for Nigeria to win with ICT. But what exactly is ICT, and why has it become so important to the global economy? More importantly, how can it change Nigeria's fortunes? Let's find out from this next report.
ICT is an acronym for Information Communications Technology. Many people ask what ICT is. What is the meaning or definition of ICT? The acronym ICT is often used in many different contexts. Information technology, that's IT, stresses the role of unified communications and the integration of telecommunications, telephone lines and wireless signals, and computers, as well as necessary enterprise software, middleware, storage, and audiovisual, which enables users to access, store, transmit, understand, and manipulate information. ICT is also used to refer to the convergence of audiovisual and telephone networks with computer networks through a single cabling or link system. ICT is a broad subject and the concepts are evolving. It covers any products that will store, retrieve, manipulate, transmit, or receive information electronically in a digital form. So some examples are personal computers, including smartphones, digital television, email, or robots. The money spent on ICT worldwide has been estimated at $3.8 trillion in 2017 alone, and has been growing at a rate of 5% per year since 2009. The estimate for 2018 growth of the entire ICT sector is 5%. The biggest growth of 16% is expected in the area of new technologies. Some examples are robotics, AR, VR, and AI. The estimate of money to be spent in 2022 is just over $6 trillion. The 2014 IT budget of the US federal government was nearly $82 billion. The Ict Development Index ranks and compares the level of ICT use and access across the various countries around the world. In 2014, the ITU, that's the International Telecommunications Union, released the latest rankings of the IDI, with Denmark attaining the top spots, followed by South Korea. The top 30 countries in the rankings include most high-income countries where the quality of life is higher than average. Countries from Europe and other regions such as Australia, Bahrain, Canada, Japan, Macau, that's China, New Zealand, Singapore, and the United States. Almost all countries surveyed improved their IDI ranking this year. ICT has been employed as an educational enhancement in sub-Saharan Africa since the 1960s. In the 1990s, a massive effort to push computer hardware and software into schools was undertaken, with the goal of familiarizing both students and teachers with computers in the classroom. Since then, multiple projects have endeavored to continue the expansion of ICT's reach in the region. Implementation is not without its challenges. While mobile phone and internet use are increasing much more rapidly in sub-Saharan Africa than in other developing countries, the progress is still slow compared to the rest of the developed world, with smartphone penetration only expected to reach 20% by 2017. However, to make a sustainable economy in the 21st century, it is inevitable to focus on ICT and its issues for long-lasting benefits for the economic growth and development in governance. ICT can become a major export and top foreign income earner for Nigeria. Bangladesh, for example, earned about $1 billion in a single year by exporting the ICT products, while more than 130 ICT farms produce ICT products such as software, IT solutions, IT security, etc. It is expected that within this year, the earning from the ICT sector alone will reach over $5 billion. In contrast, the mounting asset of ICT supports the crucial pillars that ultimately transform Bangladesh's economy into a digital one. Nigeria can very much do the same. But it takes investment in its human capital, and that is what the TETFund paradigm shift is all about.
Well, ICT is becoming the cornerstone of modern economy, especially when you consider population explosion and urban migration. With the chaos that haunts many Nigerian cities, ICT can be the solution through the conversion of our urban jungles into smart cities. Now, a smart city uses information and communication technology, that is ICT, to improve operational efficiency, to share information with the public, and to provide a better quality of government services and citizen welfare. The main goal of a smart city is to optimize city functions and promote economic growth while also improving the quality of life for citizens using smart technologies and data analysis. The value lies in how this technology is used rather than simply how much technology is available. Now, a city's smartness is determined using a set of characteristics, including an infrastructure based around technology, environmental initiatives, effective and highly functional public transportation, confident and progressive city plans, and people who are able to live and work within the city using its resources. Now, before you write this off as impossible, consider that right here in Africa, in our very own neck of the woods, there already are smart cities. Cape Town in South Africa, Konza Technopolis in Kenya, Hope City, Ghana, and Vision City, Rwanda are among them. In fact, right here in Nigeria, the Eco-Atlantic city Lagos, being built on 10 square kilometers of reclaimed land from the Atlantic Ocean, is officially an international commerce city in the country and one of the smartest cities in Africa. Eco-Atlantic is a privately funded project in partnership with the Lagos state government. Once finished, it plans to be home to 250,000 people. Everything is possible. So what is TETFund's dream when it comes to ICT? Well, we're about to discover that in our next report. Take a look.
In September of 2020, TETFund inaugurated a 62-member standing committee on research and development in Abuja. And in his remarks, the executive secretary of the fund, that's Professor Suleiman Elias Bogoro, said the committee was inaugurated to ensure a paradigm shift in research and development in Nigeria. He said the committee would be focusing on 13 thematic areas, including education, agriculture, engineering, defense and military, petroleum and energy. Other areas are environment and bioresources, medicine, pharmaceuticals, industrialization, and infrastructure development. But our focus today is on the information communication technology, that's ICT, and digital economy thematic area. ICT in digital economy is also mirrored in the 12 Pioneer Centers for Excellence established in first and second generation public universities in Nigeria, where the University of Oyo was selected to focus on computational intelligence.
With the competencies that we have seen in the University of Oyo, then it is right for us to actually come up as a country that we have a center of excellence that is looking into the technology of the future. For us in Africa, technology of the future. For the other world, is the technology of today.
From what we are interested in and what has been guidelined for us, it is to raise community skill acquisition. Community in terms of the university and by extension, the larger community, whereby we find that the students through the center will acquire skills that will build them up in computational intelligence. You know, today's world is actually digitalized. And we know that through the center, the programs that will be reeled out through the center, students, by extension the public, will learn more, be well equipped for one-on-one and for interactive and for productive activities. Through research, you find that knowledge explodes. But it's not just knowledge left on the shelf. Knowledge, that is knowledge from the research left on the shelf. Knowledge that is made use of, for which institutions like ours have contributed already and are very willing to contribute more. So those areas you find that we find artificial intelligence, you find computational intelligence, you have education sector, for which we talk about developing and producing resource persons for the classroom at the different levels of the Nigerian educational system. And we know that once these resource persons are developed at the different levels of education, they come out to be the best in the society, because each of them being motivated to produce and to be productive will definitely come out to say and to be the best that we want to be.
The purpose of ICT, when connected to national development, is to drive economic growth and improve the quality of life of people by enabling local area development and harnessing technology, especially technology that leads to smart outcomes. The main features of an ICT-driven economy are adequate water supply, assured electricity supply.
So intelligence essentially is where ICT comes in.
Okay.
So when you, in say like 100 years ago, and when we're in the mechanical age, intelligence will handle mechanically. So you have things that could switch on, switch off, and then eventually it came the era of electronics. Now with tech ICT, we have intelligent electronics powered by software, which is installed, generally called smart grids, which is installed and then able to manage the usage of power and then regulate the consumption of power based on need.
Sanitation, including solid waste management, efficient urban mobility and public transport, affordable housing, especially for the poor, robust IT connectivity and digitization, good governance, especially e-governance and citizen participation.
In terms of security, ICT is very, very key. In terms of communication, ICT is very key. In terms of today, even learning, knowledge, ICT has become a process, if you like, through which we achieve everything in life. So we cannot but try also to establish a center that handles this area.
If one has any doubt about the economic powerhouse that ICT can be, look no further than Silicon Valley in the United States. Silicon Valley is a region in Northern California that serves as a global center for high technology and innovation. Silicon Valley is home to many of the world's largest high-tech corporations, including the headquarters of more than 30 businesses and the Fortune 1000, and thousands of startup companies. Silicon Valley also accounts for 1/3 of all the venture capital investment in the United States, which has helped it become a leading hub and startup ecosystem for high-tech innovation. Because of this region alone, California is the 5th largest economy in the world.
If you go to Walmart and some other places in the US now, when you want to do your shopping, it happens to me, I got to the US around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. and I did my shopping within 1 hour without talking to a single human being. I don't even see a human being there. And that is the difference between just a market and an economy. An economy doesn't sleep. What we have in Africa, particularly in my country, there, Nigeria, is just a market. I do say it to people, but people might not understand. It's market that's open and close. An economy doesn't sleep. That's why if you have used half-life, let's take it scientifically now. You've used your half-life of a full potential to work on things and achieve X amount. If you have doubled it, you are going to have 2X. That's mathematical. So in economy where they run for 24 hours, you don't expect that economy to be the same size as an economy that runs for 12 hours or 8 hours. People work for 8 hours in this country. The economy or the market we say we have works maximally, maybe 12. 7 to 7. Everybody is dark, we go and sleep. And you want to compete with somebody that works 24 hours? So it is through artificial intelligence, technology like that economies that runs on 24 hours. Because human nature cannot be cheated. You can't say you want to be alive and alighted for the next 24 hours. You need to sleep, but machine doesn't sleep. So in this, it is critical for us to be looking at that direction if eventually we want to have an economy that will be globally competitive and can run 24 hours, possibly. If Nigeria can run 24 hours for 1 year, I can assure you we are going to double our GDP.
The San Jose metropolitan area has the third highest GDP per capita in the world, after Zurich, Switzerland, and Oslo, Norway, according to the Brookings Institution, and as of June 2021, has the highest percentage of homes valued at $1 million or more in the United States. According to TETFund's strategy, with sustained investment in research and development and ICT, this economic revolution can be replicated in Nigeria. After all, according to the United Nations, there are over 650 million mobile users in Africa, surpassing the number in the United States or Europe. Over 101 million of those users are in Nigeria. The country also has 33 million active Twitter users and 23 million Facebook users. This means the nation is primed for a digital economic boom.
When you look at an industry that has been dominated by agri revenue earnings that are dominated by oil and gas, this really is one industry that does two things. First of all, it allows us to diversify the economy. Second of all, it helps us to employ young Nigerians, because whether it's in the software side or the hardware side, or even the device design, or even just the knowledge part of it, I mean, there's so much scope for creating jobs in ICT, and really, so in addition to diversifying the economy from a GDP point of view, there really is that great opportunity to create jobs and get young people engaged.
Entrepreneurship is central to Nigeria's future prosperity. The biggest business opportunities in the coming decade will be created by Nigerians who can start businesses, generate jobs and wealth, and capture growth opportunities. Across Nigeria, necessity is the mother of invention.
Now, that is very interesting. While many people are groaning about the economic situation, others are seeing massive opportunity. A lot of us take to Twitter or Facebook using our phones to express frustration about the tough road that we have to travel as citizens of this great country. But look again. The opportunity that you are seeking is right there in the palm of your hand. A cell phone, some data, internet access, and some ICT knowledge can be the difference between prosperity and poverty. Perhaps all that we really need to unlock this potential is the triple helix model being inspired by TETFund to bring the government, the academia, and industry together in a strategic alliance for development. And that is the paradigm shift. Join us again on the next edition of the program. Until then, thank you for stopping by. Good night.